What's good YouTube, Ben here, welcome to the next video on the channel. In this one, I'm going to give you my next Steel Path viable build on Warframe. This is for Prisma Lenz. Let's get into this. Alright, so somewhat recently, for the past few weeks, this came available again through Barracuda. I thought I'd pick it up because it's a really interesting looking bow, and I thought I'd slap a build on it. So let's jump straight into the build. So it's got a unique trait, convert secondary ammo pickups to 50% of arrow ammo, which is quite important for it because it doesn't have a ton of ammo. And getting more ammo for it can be a little bit of a problem. I'll get into that in a minute, though. So running Serration for 165% damage. Galvanized Chamber for 80% multi-shot on kill, plus 30% multi-shot for 20 seconds, stacks to 5 times. Critical Delay for 200% critical chance, and negative 20% fire rate, times 2 for bows. That's negative 40%. Vital Sense for 120% critical damage. Speed Trigger for 60% fire rate, times 2 for bows. That gives you 120% fire rate to take off 40 from critical delay, and that's 80% extra fire rate. Hunter Munitions for 30% chance to apply slash procs on critical, which is very important for the build. We'll get into that in a moment as well. Malignant Force for 60% toxin and 60% status chance. Rhyme Rounds for 60% cold and 60% status chance, so it gives us viral damage. In the extra slot, I'm running Ammo Drum for 90% ammo maximum. And in the Arcane slot, I'm running Primary Merciless, which is rank 5 on kill, plus 30% damage for 4 seconds, stacks up to 12 times, and 30% reload speed. Now, we're running viral on this only because the radial attack will also do blast damage as well, so giving you an extra source of damage. And the blast radius is actually quite large on this. You don't need to extend it with like Prime Firestorm or anything. You could if you wanted to by getting rid of Serration, but I found it to be less effective. Another thing I want to go into is the ammo situation. So for this specific video, I'm going to be running Necros Prime because Necros has an ability where he is able to drop ammo, as well as I've subsumed Proteus Dispensary on him to keep ammo alive. I would recommend, if you're going to run Primary Merciless, to run this with a Warframe that can give you ammo, so like Cyto 9, Protea, Necros, because of its natural ability anyway. If you don't run one of those Warframes or want to run this weapon, I'd highly recommend swapping Merciless for Primary Dexterity, which is rank 5 on melee kill, plus 6% damage for 20 seconds, stacks up to 6 times. So you get some melee kills, then you swap to this and do damage. But since I'm running Necros, I'm going to be running Merciless, so I wanted to pull that out quickly. But we're running 150% critical chance and a 6.2 times critical multiplier, so this thing hits pretty high on criticals. And then, of course, the viral damage to help cut through that health, alongside Hunter Munitions as well as the crits. It really does a lot of damage. But we'll jump into the mission. I'll show you what this thing can do. Alright, so as per usual, I'm at Oxomoko in the Void. Now, quickly explain why we're here. So Oxomoko in the Void is in the Void, so it's one of the latest game areas in the Steel Path, so it gives you higher level enemies. Not to mention, you're dealing with the Corrupted, and with the Corrupted, you're dealing with enemies with just health, enemies with health and shields, and enemies with high armor, giving you a more varied example of what your weapon slash Warframe can do. So, let's jump into this. Right. So you're going to immediately want to start by landing on an enemy, and as you can see, the radial attack already does a good amount of damage. So as you get one kill, you'll start to see that your damage will absolutely centuple. Now, of course, if you're caught in the blast radius, you can get kicked back. So I would recommend running your Warframe with either handspring to try and alleviate some of that knockback, or run Prime Sure-Footed. That's it. I couldn't remember the name of the mod for a second there. But as you can see, we're already shredding through enemies and hitting crits all the time as well because of that 150% critical chance. So you're constantly going to be landing crits. And thanks to my Necrosis Despoil, I'm able to get ammo drops, which is extremely helpful, especially for this weapon because, like I said, this weapon falls into being in the same categories like Kuva Brahma, where you do have difficulty getting ammo nowadays because of the debuff to explosive or radial weapons like a couple of years ago. Getting ammo drops isn't fully consistent, so you definitely want to make sure that you are running a frame that can either get you ammo or run Primary Dexterity so that you can get melee kills as well as primary kills to keep the bonus up for damage. But as per usual, we'll sit in the mission until the Acolyte comes. That way you have a varied example of what this can do to an Acolyte. Spoiler alert, at maximum it shreds Acolytes. Absolutely shreds them. Doesn't matter what Acolyte you're against, it will absolutely destroy them. But as you can see with Necros, I'm keeping my ammo alive, so I'm not running out of ammo consistently, which is quite nice. But you will, like I said, run into that problem. You will definitely run into that issue at some point if you do not use a frame. They can give you ammo back quite quickly. But even with Necros, I've had issues in the past where I don't get a ton of ammo back. That's why I still run Ammo Drum. You can swap that out for Vigilante Supplies to get bonuses on your crits if you want, but that would only go with the normal unique trait anyway, so it wouldn't really do that much in terms of anything else. Plus, you then also sacrifice secondary ammo, and I love my secondary, which is primary secondary, which is Atomos. So you can do that if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. And of course, because the kind of weapon this is, headshots don't particularly matter too much. You can just hit any part of the enemy and it will still do the damage necessary for you to take them out. So it doesn't matter too much. You can go for headshots, of course, if you want. They will always deal more damage, but you don't necessarily need to. Especially if the enemy gets hit in the radial anyway, because the radial is what does a bunch of the damage, as you can see. Like, you don't have to worry too much about having to land, you know, consistent headshots. Like I said, there's no issue you doing that, because, again, you'll deal a crap ton of damage regardless, but... I'm being shot from up here. I was wondering where I was getting shot from for a second there. Boom, Excel's taken down. This thing absolutely shreds through pretty much everything. Like, doesn't matter whether it's high health unit, shield and health unit, or high armor unit. Like, it absolutely rinses through them. Like, in my opinion, for primary weapons, if you're running, like, slash or crits, I'd recommend running, because, look, that's even just ripping through it. I could leave it to die, to be fair. I'm not going to, but I could. I guess I might do, actually, because of, you know. Thank you. Oh, I shot past him. Oh, he's going down anyway. Ow! I hate these rooms. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Jesus Christmas. Right, okay. Please deal some damage. Shoot me! Right, we're getting energy back, which is fine. And we're getting our power back up. The only thing we run in Necros, sometimes you can get one shot by those stupid machines if you've taken shield gate damage, which is really annoying, but I'm just running Necros for this purely because I didn't want to run Sight. The reason I didn't want to run Sight is because he adds extra elemental damage anyway, and I didn't want it to, you know, come across as I'm adding extra stuff if you wanted to use Necros. Like, Necros doesn't really add any damage. He just makes sure you don't run out of ammo, as long as he's got despoil on. Which, look at my ammo, I'm still going down because of losing my despoil temporarily. I'll be able to get more ammo back, that's not a problem, but keeping it above 7 now is going to be a challenge. Yep. So if you do run out of ammo, of course, you can just switch to your secondary or melee for a while, get more ammo, and then, of course, go back to using this. But you will lose power on it because of that, so be forewarned. Right, Acolyte, shoot him. Ow. Lame. Right, I ran out of ammo. So as you can see, we did get through his health, but I ran out of ammo because of dying, which is not fun. Of course, I can just finish him off with my melee. And the viral procs we already used. And boom, Acolyte gone. So, not bad at all. But keeping ammo on this thing, bit of a problem, like I said. So, be forewarned of that. But thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget you can support the channel completely for free just by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget you can also support the channel even further by becoming a channel member from as little as 99 pence per month. And don't forget I do live stream. When I go live here on YouTube and on Twitch. The streams here on YouTube are in the shorts form feeds, more for mobile. If you want to catch the exact same streams at the exact same time in full 1080p, then feel free to join me on Twitch. That link is in the description for live.